Life is beautifully complicated, and unfortunately, part of what makes life worth living is sometimes what makes it painful. We Live in Time is a movie precisely about that. Spoilers ahead. A few days ago, I was talking with a friend. We were talking about trips and random things that have happened to us. And then I said to him, at the end of the day, the only memorable moments in life are the ones we would have avoided given the chance. And let me explain. Imagine you went on a trip and your car broke down or you got locked out of your room. In that particular moment, you would have most likely wanted to avoid it, given the option, of course. But in 10 or 15 years, you'll be telling that story as funny as you possibly can, and you will be telling everyone about how your car broke down and how you got locked out of your room and you had to go and ask for help and nobody helped, or someone helped and it was cool or fun or whatever. And I feel We Live in Time makes an incredibly effective case for exactly that. It's almost as if the film is only giving us the good bits. How they met in a rather accidental way, how they dealt with having a baby, then dealing with cancer, death, and a lot more elements of life. The struggle is what makes life what it is. And like the film shows, the struggle, albeit painful sometimes, doesn't have to be void of love. Life certainly feels better when you have a relationship with a partner such as this one. It felt authentic and honest. Garfield and Pugh did a spectacular job here. This movie could have been very different if it wasn't because of how great they portrayed their characters. Plot-wise, it's simple. If you have seen this kind of contemplative movies before, you'd know that she was going to die from the very beginning of the movie, like from the first third of the movie, or it certainly felt like something bad was going to happen eventually. The beauty is in how it deals with that. Don't get me wrong, it's freaking heartbreaking. I can't imagine the sobbing noises in the movie theater. Fortunately, I didn't see it in the movie theater. I saw it alone, and the only sobbing noises I could listen to were mine. But there's also this sense of calmness, almost peacefulness to it. Garfield's character most definitely suffered, but he looks content by the end, or at least at peace with everything that happened. And I believe it's because he loved deeply. I think the only regret we could have in the afterlife is to not have loved enough. And he knew he loved her, and she knew she was loved. I also loved how Florence goes into this competition, which makes sense, since when you're dying, everything feels like it's the last chance to do basically anything. But she left right before knowing if she won or not. And that's beautiful for a number of reasons. She goes to her partner and daughter and they leave. In a way, she was saying that winning or not wasn't what she was after anymore. The look in her daughter's face and the love she felt from them was more than enough. There are people who go through their entire lives without being loved or having loved like that. And I just think it's beautiful. Maybe it's because I'm too cheesy and a hopeless romantic, or I'm simply delusional, which makes sense. Love is the most powerful thing we have as a species. Even God loves. The cinematography is clean and effective. You feel like you're there, but not there, but inside of a memory. As if we, the audience, had direct access to a dimension where this exists. The dialogue is fantastic. It feels authentic. Great dialogue is hard to come by these days. And it's not just authentic, but alongside with the performances is what drives the movie. Elements in their conversation, such as talking about getting a dog for their daughter so that she can cope with death more easily, and then having the freaking dog in the last sequence, is a punch straight to your heart. Take that final sequence on a vacuum and it's nowhere near as impactful as it is knowing those tiny elements that make it feel real and ultimately heartbreaking. In terms of rewatchability, I'd give it a solid 87%. I'm a big fan of contemplative films about regular people. Now, watching this single, like I did, is borderline criminal. But I can totally see myself auto-subjecting to this film a few more times. But even with a partner, this film hurts, probably more, since it's about the uncertainty of it all. You both may very well be endgame, but what if the game is cut short, but it's just not designed to be very long? I guess we're gonna have to keep on living to figure out that one. At the end of the day, it's the person that makes you look back and be grateful for every moment, good or bad, simply because it was with them. As always, thank you for watching. See you next time. Then dealing with cancer,